Hi, I'm Raquel and I am European.
Hi, I'm Ke. I have BPD, bisexual personality disorder.
And I'm E. Parker Finley. Your trauma is valid, but I'm not actively listening.
And welcome to
Throuples Therapy,
where our relationship problems are just your problems. Enjoy!
Three friends on a couch with an opinion. It's time for another session. We're not pros, but at least it's free. Better than your therapist. It's Throuples Therapy.
How's everyone feeling emotionally today?
Good. This is my dream throuple.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, specifically us, or like gender configuration wise?
That's just for me to know. That's just.
Is this?
I'm not gonna out myself in any sort of way. I plead the fifth.
What's your ideal throuple, Raquel?
What's my ideal throuple?
Asking the real questions.
Two more of myself.
Interesting. Do you identify as an autosexual?
Is that the same as an autogena?
Autogynophile? No. No.
I'm also gonna plead the fifth.
No, an autogynophile is a man who turns into a woman so that he can sleep with other women.
That's not no.
Raquel.
No.
And then, as opposed to the homosexual transsexual who turns into a woman to sleep with men. Eve.
Oh.
We're starting strong. I have to say I don't endorse that message.
Yes. What's your dream throuple, Eve?
My dream throuple is two boys, but one of them who's like really fruity and one of them who's like kind of masculine. And they're both obsessed.
Do they both date you, or do you all date each other?
They like mostly date me. Wow, I'm so selfish. But then they also like each other, but not as much as me.
Like the Challengers.
Yes. Movie I have not seen, but I still say yeah.
I haven't seen it either, but I heard about the bisexual kiss.
Yeah.
So, have you ever made two boys kiss?
No, but I am intrigued by the idea in the same way that like straight men like to see two women kiss, you know? And I feel like it's sort of subverting the hierarchy by making two boys kiss.
I haven't made two boys kiss. I might have facilitated two girls kissing in front of me.
Oh.
But no, I don't have experience with boys in threesomes.
Huh.
Do you
separately, you don't have experience with boys, and you don't have experiences with threesomes, or specifically, you don't have experience with boys and threesomes together?
Boys and threesomes. Would you recommend it? Is that something that I need to like look into for like next year?
It really depends.
Depends on what I want to get out of it.
It depends on what you want to get, and depends on the boy.
Do you think it's not gonna work out if I'm not comfortable with myself?
Yeah. Or you have to be comfortable also with sleeping with a man. So
that's interesting. It's all complex. It's a lot of information I'm taking in right now. This is fascinating.
Gender and sexuality is a cloud.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever use the genderbread man in like gender workshops?
The gender unicorn, but not the genderbread.
The hell is the gender unicorn?
It's the same thing, I think. You know,
sounds gayer.
Where it's got like arrows and it's like the mind, gender,
the
sex,
gender
identity.
There wasn't anything like that in Spain because we don't have gingerbread men, so it would have been like a bit of a confusing concept.
Cultural gap.
Yeah, but I've heard of it, just like couples therapy.
Yeah, but is there another like silly cartoonish metaphor being used in like gender 101 workshops in Spain?
The gender churro.
Oh, is it real?
Really?
No. I wish.
I wish too. That'd be so funny.
Just two elements: the churro and what goes inside.
Yeah, but also like the sprinkles, like the sugar or whatever.
The sugar, the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The degree to which it's fried.
Yeah.
All of it is valid, depending, you know.
Super
there's
valid.
A spectrum, and all of it is valid and delicious.
Yeah.
I have a fun fact to share. This I've been waiting for. Okay, I'm gonna start it with a question rather than diving into the facts. You're gonna try and guess the fact. Okay, so
this is like Trans Jeopardy.
sort of. Okay, so out of lesbians, gays,
I love this question
and
already.
heterosexuals, who do you think has the longest marriage?
So you're
rate, like least divorce rate.
just to be clear, bi erasure.
No bisexuals in the statistics. The bisexuals don't count as two. It doesn't. This is not
Like messes with the
Yeah,
okay.
messes-
So gays, lesbians,
like
heterosexuals.
they could be bisexuals in that combination, but you're in a gay looking relationship, or you're in a heterosexual looking relationship, or you're in a lesbian
Bisexual eraser.
looking. Who do you think has the longest marriages, so the lowest divorce rates?
I'm really split between lesbians and gays because I feel like lesbians could either be the longest because they, I feel like, are the most emotionally intelligent and able to like work through an issue. But I'm also like, oh, they're the most emotionally intelligent, so they know if it's not working, they should break up. I'm gonna go with gays, gay men.
Gay?
Yeah.
Gays?
I'm gonna be. Well, I don't know if it's being homophobic, but I'm gonna go with the straights.
You think the straights? Okay. Who do you think has the highest divorce rate? So the shortest marriages, like the highest rate of divorce.
I'm going all in on my hypothesis and gonna say lesbians.
Okay. Oh, you Raquel?
Did you just confuse us? Wow.
We're not all the same.
That's so fucked up, guys.
No, sorry, the chaser in me just came out.
Yeah. I know. I think I agree with Eve. I think
Okay.
it's the lesbians because they're the most emotionally intelligent.
You're right. I was shocked by this, but apparently gay men have the longest marriages and lesbians have the highest rate of divorce.
Gay men have longest marriages than straight couples.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Why do we think this is? What are our hypotheses? I did a little research. I have a few, but what do you think?
I would blame kids.
Good hypothesis.
That is a good hypothesis.
I think it's kids probably has a lot to do with it.
Wait, they break marriages or they make
I-
people stay together longer?
They break marriages.
Yeah.
I think kids and the care of kids accelerates a lot of like toxic gender dynamics that put pressure on the relationships until obviously it doesn't happen with gay men.
Unless they like really choose to make it happen. Wow, this is really trans man erasure also.
That is true. Like I apologize. You can.
Yes, these are homophobic, transphobic,
I-
biphobic statistics.
I'm gonna take
They're fun.
a break of 2 years to learn and reflect on my internalized transphobia.
2 years.
2 years.
That should be enough.
Yeah.
My hypothesis is that gay men are more like if they reach a point in their relationship where they're like, oh, one of them wants to be open or like wants to sleep with other people, they're more likely to be okay with that or like become polyamorous than a straight couple.
Yes.
So then like those couples stay together and then that's why there's more.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of theories. I don't know how much of this. Some of this is from Reddit. Some of this is from like websites that look kind of legit. So I don't know how much of it is actually legit. But kids is one of them. Gay men least likely to have kids. Versus lesbians and heterosexuals. They had this whole thing about how lesbians also often are less pressured to stay together for kids than
Yeah.
heterosexuals because they do a lot of like, I'll still live with my ex and co-parent even though we're completely divorced situation.
Absolutely.
Like they definitely like they're less family structure pressure. So lesbians, yes, kids, stress, income also. That double man income with no children, less stress.
Wow. I should detransition.
I was shocked though, to be honest. I was like, oh, we process so much, we talk so much, we do so much couples therapy, and where does it get us?
Divorce.
The more divorce.
I mean, I think
Like-
a lot of couples should break up.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, why do we need to talk about divorce as a bad thing? It can be a great thing. And I'm saying that as a divorced person,
True, you are a divorcee.
only in one country.
Wait.
I'm not going to disclose
Oh,
too much about my personal life. Let's keep it to a reasonable amount of sharing.
So why'd you get divorced? I'm just kidding.
Why not? You have to experiment in life and maybe,
Yeah.
it's like what they say about, oh, maybe try a little bit of hormones and see how it feels. Maybe you need to get a little bit divorced and see how it feels and maybe it's right for you.
Microdose on divorce.
Yeah.
I have heard a friend, I don't remember who, but some friend made a joke once about how divorcees needed to be added to the LGBTQ spectrum.
I mean, there was, I don't know if
Interesting.
you've read The Transition Baby.
No.
Half of it.
there's this thing where I don't know if it was in the forward or something that Tori Peters compares trans women to divorced cis women, and the whole thing of starting a new life and like finally being yourself.
I guess most trans women have divorced a man before. and
Divorce the
left-
man within.
Yes.
I'm not transitioning. I'm divorcing.
I think divorce is a very natural part of life. Recognizing what doesn't work for you and moving on, that's something like almost to celebrate.
But isn't divorce like the most heterosexual thing you can do? Because isn't it like a heterosexual cultural tradition?
To get divorced?
Yeah.
Yeah, more than marriage now. I feel like there's more divorces than marriages.
This is what I'm saying. So how does one divorce without being, swept up in that heteronormative?
How do you have a queer divorce?
Queering
Queering
divorce.
Queering
divorce.
divorce. Like I said, the
I'm saying.
lesbians that still live with their ex and
Yeah.
co-parent in a house with their new 3 polycules
Yeah.
all together. That's a queer divorce, I feel like.
Yeah, getting divorced and still sleeping
In the
with
same
each
bed?
other.
Yeah.
I meant like
Sexy.
in each other. Yeah,
Wow, yes.
I think that's queering divorce.
And it can also be a symbolic divorce. We don't need to get like lawyers involved.
The state.
You
Yeah.
identify as divorce
Do you guys want to get married?
with each other.
Well, we do
That's
look alike,
me.
so might as well.
It's too early.
I'm open to it. I feel the same way about kids and pets and tattoos. It's like I'm open to it, but I'm not always like gonna like put a lot of energy into making it happen. You?
I don't know about like the whole marriage thing, but I really want to be proposed to. I want it to be like a whole thing.
What do you imagine that like production to look like?
I want to be surprised.
Okay.
I want to be surprised, and I want it to be like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, I used to watch
Like a flash dance?
Yeah, something like that. When I was younger, I used to watch a lot of like gay proposal YouTube videos.
Wow, what a niche. That's so precious. I can feel love
It was
too.
like a combination of like
Yeah.
It Gets Better videos and like gay proposal, and I would just like be in my bed like crying.
Wow.
Yeah, I would steal my parents' laptop and watch gay proposal videos, and my parents would walk in, and I would close it really quickly, and it looked like I was watching porn,
Right.
but it was really just
But you were crying.
I was crying.
So your parents might have been confused, wondering why you were crying.
Probably
watching porn.
relieved you're watching porn. That's so 2000s gay culture to me.
Yeah.
To like be watching proposals and it gets better.
Yeah, this is my generational.
In between like no hate
Yeah,
posters or
yeah.
whatever. What the hell was that supposed to mean? Do you know what we're talking about?
No, you're gonna have to explain.
It was this
to the foreigner.
like PSA campaign and like I was gonna say anti-gay, anti-homophobia campaign where celebrities posed in like I want to say like a white t-shirt and like white pants, and their mouths were covered in duct tape. This is how I remember it. And then on their hands were over their mouths, and it said like no hate, or like hate with like a cross through it, right?
Yeah, something like that.
But why are they being silent? Why are they being silent?
I think that they're all secretly homophobic, and they're
like
stopping
keeping it
this from.
Okay, this makes me think that I miss the moment in popular culture, the moment in culture from like let's say 15 years ago, where there was all these anti-homophobia campaigns, but often by well-meaning straights that were kind
Exactly.
of lost,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and I miss that.
Yeah.
Right now, we have too much agency. They listen to what we have to say.
Yeah, they want us to say everything.
And
I'm
no,
tired.
I think there should be more of like well-meaning, confused straights being listened to on the fight against homophobia and transphobia.
Okay, if
Because
we
it's cute and
Yeah.
fun.
If we were to make a
Agreed.
transphobia
Exactly what I was
PSA as well-meaning heterosexuals,
Love is love.
for anti-transphobia, I think
Yeah.
that's so funny. There was some shoe company that like made a like trans pride shoe.
Oh, the Uggs?
And it said "Love is love," which is so funny.
I remember hearing that they were like trans Uggs and they were like the trans
Uggs.
flag colored or whatever, but they only
They're
went
called bricks.
What?
Trans Uggs.
Rude. But apparently they only went up to like a women's size like 9 or 10 or something, and then everyone was like,
That
this
is
is
so funny.
transphobic.
That's so funny. I feel like, what if I could see, has this been done? I like would be surprised if this hasn't been done, but like men dressing up as women and being like,
Oh yeah.
no problem, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, wear what you want.
Yeah, gender's not real.
Yeah.
Or like women dressing up as men.
You mean drag?
Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Hear me out. Men dressing up as women for entertainment. I think it could be huge.
I remember once I wanted to dress up as a, because one year I went as a DILF for Halloween, and I carried this like baby doll around, and like a very realistic looking baby doll.
This is
and
why
I, like,
conservatives are afraid of us.
and I was
We're
like,
grooming.
had like a Mile End coffee and like a whatever, and I looked like a dad. And then the next year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go as a mommy and like do a little mommy outfit. And then to this day, I don't know if my friend was joking or not, but I have a trans girlfriend, and she was like, it's not funny to dress up as women. But to this day, I don't know if she was joking at me or if she was genuinely offended, but I never did it. Instead, I wrapped myself in toilet paper and was a mummy.
A mummy.
With a baby wrapped in toilet paper.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was better. It was much better upgrade. But I still, to this day, don't know if she was actually mad at me.
And also erasing
thinking-
women when you could have been a woman. I've definitely heard the like men dressing up as women or dressing up in drag for Halloween is transphobic discourse.
Yes.
And I would love to hear what you two think.
I think it's the entry point for many
This is what I think too.
trans femmes to start experimenting with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it probably depends on how you do it. And also, I feel like, just in general, men dressing up as women, if it's done minimally tastefully, I'm always going to find it kind of hot. So I can't get offended on that.
Because you have a feminizing fantasy.
You have a feminization kink.
Whoa. Let's not pathologize.
I mean, you are an autogonophile. After all.
So, if it's an eggy thing, it's okay. So does that mean trans men just can't dress up as women?
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, that's fucked up.
100%.
And I'll probably find it hot.
I think anyone could dress up as a woman.
Yeah. I feel like the limit is when... I feel like the big no-no is when people were dressing up as trans women. Like when there was like Caitlyn Jenner Halloween costumes going around.
But
I feel like that's not.
But that's why I say, like, depends how you do it. What's the intention?
Yes.
If it's supposed to be a joke, like, look at this freak.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cool. If it's done, in a more tasteful way, I might want to make out with you. I don't know.
Even a Caitlyn Jenner impersonator?
No, I said minimally tastefully. There's no tasteful way to approach Caitlyn Jenner.
Also,
Sorry,
you
just to
dress up as a
clarify.
man all the time, Eve. So you do male drag all the time.
I've done it once, and this is just how I dress.
Right now, I meant in drag as a character.
All the time. Literally, I'm just a fucking tomboy, and representation
like
for
that.
tomboy girls matters.
That's
I've literally
not what
done
I
male
meant.
drag once, and you were not there.
You've done TikTok characters also. I feel like you've done
that's true.
exactly. You've had. That's not what I meant. I was gonna say you play male
Wow.
characters.
But I'm wearing the same
Also.
outfits that I wear as a normal person.
But you play male characters.
Yeah,
You have drag characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you really just hit on one of my like
Sorry.
clear self-conscious moments. Oh, I
No.
love it.
I take that back. Let's cut that.
I should dress up as a boy for Halloween. Is that messed up?
That's what I'm saying. Can trans men dress up as women? Can trans women dress up as men?
Of course.
No.
No, you say no.
I say no.
Trans women can't dress up as men.
No, they can't.
Raquel plays it too. Don't you have that whole Joe Calrone character?
Joe comedian.
Joe comedian.
Oh, Joe comedian.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. What does it feel like to embody that male comedian character?
It was kind of funny for a little bit. I haven't had the urge to to do that in almost a year.
Maybe it was just a phase.
It was a phase. I think it was fucked up that some people found it kind of hot.
Even though you find it hot,
When people
dress up as women.
Yeah, but that's different. That's much better. Can't compare.
It's true. The time that I did do male drag or drag king, people also, I could tell, found it really hot, and it also was such a weird. It was so weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, so did I.
a masculinization kink, underrated. I feel like many people
Agreed.
have it.
Are you dressing up as anything?
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I have like the work appropriate version and then the non-work appropriate version. I wanted to wear something really unhinged, but I don't think I wanted to just like wear a thong and do full mustard colored body paint
Yeah.
and a little red crop top.
Yeah. I did that 1 year.
As
when
Winnie the
when I was
Pooh?
18, I was Winnie the Pooh.
And did that exact outfit.
I did that
Oh,
exact
oh my
outfit. I don't know if it was a thong, but it was like booty shorts that were gold, and then I painted a lot of yellow, and then like this silly little red crop top that I wrote in like pen poo.
Nice.
And then I remember going out to Unity in the village, and if you had a costume on, you got entrance for free. And there was a guy at the gate or whatever, like deciding whether people were wearing costumes or not. And he got to me and he was like, "It's $20, please." And I was like, "No, I'm Pooh." I'm like, "I'm Pooh." And like you couldn't, like in the dark lights, you like couldn't see anything. It was literally just like a homo in like a crop top. I'm Pooh.
And you couldn't convince him.
No, I shouldn't need the ears.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna make ears. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make ears. I guess I'm just gonna be Eve Parker Finley circa 2012.
You call me a man again?
The Pooh outfit. Oh my god.
Yeah, you should be Eve as Winnie the Pooh in 2012. That's a deep cut. That's a very gay costume. You know,
Yes.
gays love to like
Yes.
do like an obscure internet reference as their costume. I would love to dress up as the final form in the substance.
I feel like this whole podcast, I've gotten myself into like transphobic holes by accident.
I know, it's so
Yeah,
fun.
all of
Which
us.
happens to me all the time. This one
Oh,
time
yeah.
I was talking to someone. Oh yeah, my friend was talking. They're like, "Oh, you know this person?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Anna." Let's say they're like, "Oh, you know Anna?" And I was like, "Yeah, Anna, the male woman." And they're like, "Kuh, I don't think
so
she
messed
identifies as a male one." I was like, "No, like a male person." And they're like, "Kuh, I don't think she identifies as a male person." I was like,
Oh my God.
"No, the
She's a
gender,
woman."
the gender inclusive way to say person who just delivers your postage, your mail." But I just look like such a fucking transphobe because I called this trans woman a fucking male woman.
Person gives mail.
Yes, this is what I was trying to say. Delivers
She's giving mail.
Canada Post Office lady.
Are you ever accidentally transphobic?
No, never accidentally. It's always on purpose.
Yeah.
No, let's say I have some trans friends, and among ourselves, we're transphobic. You know, safe spaces are for that.
Right. Like a stitching bitch.
Yeah.
Is anybody non-binary phobic?
I'm afraid.
Of non-binary people?
No.
Only with the ones that owe me androgyny.
Yeah. Non-binary people don't owe me androgyny. Yeah, but one of them owes me like.
Yeah, interest is going up.
What are you afraid? I mean, are you?
I think I'm non-binary.
I gotta
Everyone
go.
stopped non-binarying me. I don't know. I just started taking these hormones, and everyone was like,
Sup,
"Man."
bro?
I mean, I'm a man. When it's different. It's contextual. I'm like, you know, like I feel like at work I go stealth and I do the cis men thing. When I'm around the gays, I do the like he him thing. But then in other spaces, I like to be more of like a they them non-binary. I don't know.
And that's okay.
I guess that makes me he they.
That's okay. You're so valid. You're so. Hey, cut. You're valid. You're so valid.
You're very valid. But I mean, it's kind of a similar experience for me, because me at work and my personal life, I go by she, her, and then I do comedy shows and the hosts are like, "What is this tranny?" And then they introduce me as they. Them. So
Rude.
it happens a lot. So maybe I'm also non-binary.
That also happens to me all the time, especially in like not too queer centric, but sometimes queer centric comedy.
Yeah, that's
And
sucks.
it's this like this would be the like good intentioned but poorly executed modern like celebrity trans PSA campaign that would happen.
Yes,
That would be
yes.
like everybody's they.
Always assume they. She's a they. He's a they. They. They is safe.
They are a trans woman. They are a woman. And I'm always like, it's fine, but it also does irritate me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you get annoyed when people ask you your pronouns?
Yeah. Even though I'm like, I taught you for years that that's what you're supposed to do, and now I regret it so truly deeply.
So how do you do it now? Because I feel like people are over the asking the pronouns. It's a little
true.
awkward. It's a little clumsy. You know, when you're in a social space, someone's like, "Oh, so what are your pronouns?" Some people get offended, you know, because you're like, you wouldn't ask everyone that. So how do we go about finding out people's pronouns now?
I feel like we listen, we watch, we feel, and we assume.
Or we stalk them on Lex.
Yes.
Oh,
I often look up people's Instagram profile.
I know. Some people don't put it in their Instagram though.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I know. That's transphobic.
I feel like it's not bad to like sometimes people ask and I find that's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it is complete. It's okay. It's okay to ask. But
or like ask a friend of that person.
Yeah.
That's what I like too.
Yeah.
like, you know, I've been bitching about some people using they them to me, but I've probably done the same to others. So I'm a hypocrite.
What's the worst kind of person to ask? To
Someone
have asked you, I mean.
who wouldn't ask just anyone.
Right.
Like a
They're
cis
hi,
person.
hi,
Yeah.
what are your pronouns?
Yeah, exactly. And then you ask them back, and they're like, "Oh, well, you know what? Obviously, it's you know, like people who are like,
Man ones.
yeah." It's just like it's like when you're in a group of people, and they're like, "Okay, let's do a round of pronouns," and
Sounds like a
you know
terrible
it's
game.
just because it's you, like just
Yes.
because you're there, and then
Yes.
everyone has like
Oh my
normative
God.
pronouns or whatever, and you accept you.
I want to believe there's someone out there with still using neopronouns, and that would get mad if Z get asked for Z pronouns. Like, duh, obviously Z's here.
I remember once I was in.
Maybe I should be that person.
Yeah, change it up.
I love neopronouns personally.
It's a little bit vintage. It's a little bit
Yeah.
Yeah.
2010.
2010 Tumblr.
Everything has been absorbed by they them. No?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Do you have friends using neopronouns?
I have some friends that use. I know some Z Zemzers. I know 2 Z Zemzers. I know an it. I know. Yeah, I once was in a meeting
I know
where
a
we
we.
had to. I know we too, and we were actually. I used to run a meeting, and we would say something like, "Oh, we use I, not we statements," and then this person was like, "I use we pronouns."
No.
And I was like, "Oh no, we have to change this statement."
Were they like offended?
No. They didn't even ask us to change it. They were just like, we were just doing pronouns, and they're like, "Oh, I use we pronouns."
No, I
And
do
then-
use we.
And I was like, "Oh, we have to change that statement because now you obviously because we meant it in like a you speak from personal
That's so
experience
funny.
kind of thing."
Did they say I use we?
No, they said we use. Have you heard about reflexive pronouns? Those ones.
What's that?
It's you use whatever pronoun the person you're talking to uses.
Whoa. You have broken our brain with this concept. We're
With reflexive pronouns?
I'm so.
Old?
Huh? I keep calling. Oh, slides undone again, by the way.
Oh no! It just happens with these pants. Don't cut this. Cut this. Oh, no, they're not coming out. I don't know. Maybe you need new pants.
Speaking of that, do you guys want to play real trauma, fake trauma?
Oh yes.
Okay, so this is a segment on the show we're gonna try and see if it works, where one of us brings a story, and then we have to decide if that story is a true traumatic event or a fake traumatic event,
Yes.
right?
That's how it goes.
So I have one,
Okay, Eve.
but I also don't know if I've used this in my Two Truths and a Lie that you've maybe seen before?
I have never seen your Two Truths and a Lie.
Oh,
I've seen your Two Truths in a Lie, but I wasn't paying attention. So don't worry.
I still all the time think about your lie, which in that game, which was that you had a girlfriend in Japan, and like we like you like say three things and then we like ask a bunch of questions, and we were like we're like Raquel, like where does that girlfriend live? And you're like, oh, Tokyo, and we were
No,
like
Kyoto.
Kyoto, and we were like, what neighborhood? And she was like, downtown. I still sometimes I'm like walking down the street and I'm like, downtown.
I said downtown Kyoto, which is a real name. Or
Like
something.
you in middle school trying to pretend like you have like 3 girlfriends around the world.
Exactly. God, it's so funny.
I love that.
Okay, so the traumatic story is it's kind of a collection of traumatic stories. I've like plugged the toilet and caused floods in 2 different church basements. Ask away.
This is tricky. Because I do think you're a poopy girl.
That's-
I know that you... I've heard...
We were talking before. I said I do not have IBS. You think I'm a poopy girl?
I do know...
First
I
you
do
call me
know-
a man, then you say I'm a poopy girl. Go
No,
on.
it's moving on the spectrum, moving a little bit more to femininity, from man to poopy girl. You know, it's kind of
Oh. Okay, now I'm kind of on board. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Tomboys
a
are kinda
poopy
poopy
girls
girls.
are the realist girls.
I think church basement is specific. It's believable. So okay, good job there. You're feeding us something that
Thank you.
yeah, I'm inclined to believe it. How old were you in both
The
situations?
first time I was like 8, and the second time I was like 16.
How clogged are we talking?
Clogged.
Like, did you leave it or did you get help?
Both times I had to get help. Like it wasn't just like it
Praying.
was clogged.
Praying wasn't enough.
I had to get help and help. Like both times the water came out of the toilet.
Oh.
But also both times it wasn't like disgusting water.
Did
Ate
you
a lot
clog
of
it?
fiber.
Did you clog it with poop or did you clog it with other things?
It was mostly poop, but also like, you know,
Lots of toilet paper.
yeah. And like I threw a couple other things in there too. No, I'm just kidding.
Was it the same toilet in the same church basement?
2 different toilets, 2 different churches.
How does this trauma manifested in your life now?
I haven't gone to church since I was 16. I'm scared of God. I am scared of... Okay, actually two ways. One, I am genuinely scared of taking a poop in public. Because I'm like, what if? And often, you're really making me realize this. Often, I'll like, when I walk into a public bathroom, I like scan to see if there's a plunger somewhere. Or like a closet. And I often have this reoccurring stress dream where I'm like, I really have to go to the bathroom, and I wander into a public bathroom, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of stalls, but they're all disgusting, and I can't use any of them.
Wow. So
Yeah.
your fear of public
And
restrooms.
my mom has the same dream.
Oh wow.
Isn't that
This is like
crazy?
ancestral trauma.
Yes.
This is generational trauma.
Yes.
Wow. So your fear of public restrooms has nothing to do with the fact that you're trans and solely because you have clogged so many toilets in your
Yeah,
life.
I don't care about that part.
Did you start the trans bathroom panic? Did it start with you clogging those toilets?
No comment. But actually, the second time would kind of line up with the... Anyway.
Was one of these basement churches in North Carolina?
Yeah. No.
There you go.
Okay. I mean, I feel like the passion in which you were talking about this and the clear traumatic effect it has had on your life makes me think it is real trauma.
Okay. Raquel, real trauma or fake trauma? Do you
I-
believe my trauma? Do you think it's valid or not?
I think it's valid, and it reminds me to this one time that I invited a fellow Montreal queer comedian for dinner at my place with me and my girlfriend, and just like 5 minutes they showed up for dinner. I clogged my toilet, and it got really, really bad. With luck, it didn't flood, but it was just right there. And dinner was ready, and we had this guest. And at the same time, I spent 2 hours trying to unclog it. And it was a very difficult job.
Oh my god.
So that's where you were that whole time during those 2 hours.
Yeah.
When you started telling this story, I was like, oh my god, is this about me? And I was like searching my mind, like, did I clog her toilet?
No, that wasn't you. That wasn't you.
Raquel's like, I know this is a fake trauma because you've done it 3 times once
But
at
only
my house.
only twice at churches.
So I think do you think it's, I think a conclusion is valid. It's a valid, real trauma.
I think so. I think it's real. And honestly, it explains a lot of things about you.
I don't know what's happening here with you calling me a poop girl and you saying this explains things about me. But thank you both for thinking my trauma is valid and real. Thank you for thinking my trauma is valid and real. It is, in fact, valid and real.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's a poopy girl.
What does that explain about me?
The artistic inclination, the creativity, the thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
These are all, traits that you develop when you also have to poop outside the box.
I do think it affected my, like, asking people for help really nicely energy that I sometimes bring, because the second time I clogged the toilet was, like, in the middle of doing... Okay, so I was taking this, like, written theory music exam. I'm such a nerd. And it's like me and 2 other girls I didn't know sitting in a church basement like classroom, dead quiet with like one adjudicator woman. I finished the test because I really have to poop. And then I was like, here it is. And then went to the bathroom, clogged the toilet, started overflowing. There was water on the ground. Like walking was like, plop, 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 plop. And I had to go, I don't know what the frick to do. I had to go back into the exam room. And they were still writing. It was dead quiet. And like walk over to the invigilator woman. And I was like, excuse me, do you know where I can find a plunger? That was so humiliating. So humiliating. They had to call the plumber.
Wow.
They had to call an expert.
Honestly, good for you. I don't know. I think I would consider just leaving.
I know, but I was 16, so I like couldn't like... I was like waiting for my parents to come pick me up.
Wow. You are valid.
You're valid, yeah.
And I think if you continue your work in Throuples Therapy, I think that you will shit in public again one day.
Wow.
I think that.
Maybe we can even arrange a live event for that.
A life event?
Yeah.
Only on our Patreon.
Anything else?
Poop jokes, yes or no?
Even though I just, made us talk about that for 10 minutes, I'm like, no, it's lazy.
I feel like I'm
It's
not
a
allowed
cheap
to
trick.
anymore.
Why?
You're not allowed.
I think it's one of those things that's like once you become a man, things just don't work as well. Like I don't feel like
Bowel problems.
It's like okay, no, not that. Yes, that also, but telling poop jokes on stage less
Yeah.
cute when you're a man. Singing the song "Bitch" for karaoke used to be my go-to number. Now I don't know how it's read.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can't dress up as a woman for Halloween. Like, being
I
a
know.
man is hard.
I should just detransition.
Baby.
They say it comes with all this privilege, but really, just
A blessing and a curse.
yeah.
What do you think about poop jokes?
I mean, what Kai's saying, I feel it also applies to me because I'm too bricky to pull that off. But on top of that, my girlfriend hates poop jokes with a passion. Like, I don't know if maybe once or twice I've done something resembling a poop joke on stage. She will make sure to tell me that she hated it.
Wow.
And if she's ever at a show and someone does something like that, she'll tell me she doesn't like it.
I got a
No,
nasty
she'll-
fart joke.
Nasty fart joke. You're right. It doesn't work.
Right? It doesn't.
I know that, she feels very strongly about it.
She's gonna
I-
hate this episode.
You need to find the right poop angle. But I mean, it's not at the same time, it's not the best subject.
It feels a
Depends on the
bit.
context.
It feels a bit like, hey, sir, is this your wife? Yeah. What's the deal with airplane food? The bathroom in an airplane is terrifying,
They
though.
go,
Yeah. I always plug my ears because it's so loud. You know, if you sit on it while you flush, really bad things will happen.
oh my god, that sounds terrifying.
I don't know if
Have you
that's
done it?
true.
Oh,
What bad thing is that gonna happen?
it's quick bottom surgery. Just sucks
Yeah.
it all out.
This is how they do an appendectomy at Claire's.
Suck that right out.
This is disgusting. This is supposed to be therapy. Well, anything goes in therapy.
Anything goes in therapy. This is a safe space.
Are you guys in therapy?
Yes.
Nope.
This explains a lot about you, actually.
What?
Have you ever been in therapy?
Yes.
But you're not now. How long have you not been in therapy?
7 months.
Oh, wow,
okay,
recent therapist.
But I was only back to therapy for 2 or 3 months. And
Was-
I hadn't been in therapy for years.
Oh wow, okay, wow. Are you in therapy?
Yeah, I've been with my therapist for 6 years.
I've been with my therapist for the same amount of time, and I'm debating if we're breaking up soon.
Really?
I'm having a hard time with it. Like, should we break up? And we've been together for like 6-7 years, like every week.
Sometimes you have to break up. Sometimes you have to divorce your therapist.
But I like them.
Sometimes.
I like them a lot. It has nothing to. It's not them. It's me.
What is them and their prices?
I just one of the reasons why I stopped doing therapy is that I didn't find the point in like paying all that money to like talk about how I'm stressed about money.
I also find that an awkward conversation topic to talk about
Yeah.
it to a therapist.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Look, I'm all for therapy. Power to everyone who has a good therapist. That's awesome. I found myself in a couple of times that it was more useful for me to have some of these conversations with people close to me in my life instead of with professionals. And I do it for free. Is that considered emotional labor from some of these? I don't know. But I've discovered more things about myself talking, for example, to my partner than talking to some of the therapists I've had. If therapy was cheaper, I would do more of it. But I don't feel a strong urge for that.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. My friend uses ChatGPT a lot for therapy.
That freaks me out. I think that sounds like a terrible idea.
Apparently it's pretty good. They'll be like, using an attachment lens, give me a worksheet about this, or like they'll be like, oh, this situation is happening. Apparently it's pretty good.
But it's evil.
But it's evil.
It's evil. It's ruining the environment.
It's true.
Could an AI therapist replace the experience of having a queer therapist where you run into them at a...
Sex party?
Yeah. That's not what I was going to say, but... AI can't do that.
No.
So we're at the end of our session. How was today for you?
I feel good.
That's awesome. I will see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to Throuples Therapy. Make sure you eat trans for me after the session.
Throuples Therapy is a production by the three of us. Don't forget to follow us at Throuples Therapy Pod. See you next time.